Hello, my name's Steve Rodriguez, and I'm a family practice doctor in Dallas, Texas. And I've been here for about 20 years, working in a solo practice. And I have some information that's kind of frightening, but it'll help shine some light on our huge problem. Um, but I'll explain the opioid crisis today, and all of it's related. The opioid crisis, what physicians do, what they don't do, insurance, the politics. It all goes back 100 years to the Rockefellers. But on any account, the opioid crisis is caused by physicians writing prescriptions for opioids. That's all physicians do, is write prescriptions for painkillers, opioid and cocaine derivatives for all chronic pain problems. Then you think, well, why do physicians write for painkillers? Because they're trained to write for painkillers. Physicians are trained, board certified trained physicians are trained to do two things: write prescriptions and look for surgical problems. Write prescriptions, write prescriptions, look for surgical problems. That's the whole infrastructure of our healthcare system. There's no prevention, everybody knows this. There's no prevention in healthcare. So you go to a physician, you have pain, and they write you a prescription. It could a painkiller. Uh, they'll start out with something light, like an NSAID, a Motrin, a Metapren, Tylenol, and then they'll raise the stakes as time goes on if you're not better. Um, then they're obligated to order X-rays, MRIs, CT scans to determine if you have a definitive surgical problem so that they can do surgery. So if they see something on X-ray, they'll call it arthritis. If the arthritis looks a little kind of on the bad side, they'll set you up for surgery. And they'll do joint replacements, back surgeries, hip surgeries, nerve repairs. So physicians only do two things: write for prescriptions, painkillers, set you up for surgery. Two things. So, but they won't tell you that there's another option. The other option is physical therapy. Physicians are not allowed to mention physical therapy. Matter of fact, they're not even trained to think physical therapy. They're only trained to think painkillers, surgery, surgery, painkillers. That's it. The problem with that is there's not the treatment for chronic pain. The treatment for chronic pain is physical therapy. That's it. It's as simple as that. So a physician has three options to give you: um, medication, surgery, physical therapy. But physical therapy is not even on their radar because they're trained not to think physical therapy. It's amazing how you can tell someone who's living on the earth that the earth is flat. And if it's not of their concern, they won't even be bothered. Okay, the earth is flat. That's fine. Doesn't matter. But if you need to know the earth is round, it's imperative that you know. So over the past 100 years, physicians have been taught skeleton, x-rays, what's on the x-ray, to set you up for surgery. The problem is there's nothing on x-ray. Most 90%, 95% of what physicians see on an x-ray is just all fantasy. It's like a crystal ball. They look at the x-ray and they say, They'll look at the x-ray and they'll say, I see something there. We can fix it. Yes, they can fix it. Um, So to do that, they left out the entire muscle system. There's no muscle information anywhere in the healthcare system. That's where chronic pain lives. Chronic pain lives in your body, your whole body, from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, all muscles. So once you put muscles back into the equation, then you have a logical decision making process. Muscles, pain, physical therapy, medication pain. You treat it with medication, or surgery pain. So there's basically three types of pain: muscle, internal medical, surgical. There's another pain, and that's the pain of just experiencing life and all the trials and tribulations. So there's mind, body, spirit pain, medication treated pain, and surgical treated pain. Three problems. So to keep this concept of painkiller, surgery, painkiller, they literally have to remove you, the entire you, meaning your entire spiritual being, meaning they have to remove any idea of nature, natural healing, God for that matter. So the treatment for physical pain is physical therapy. There are 5 levels of physical therapy: stretch and flex, massage, pulling, needling, and then turbocharged needling. Uh, all these have been used since the beginning of time. But when you see them, you won't see them in any book or reference because they've been removed, strategically removed over the past 30 years. I'm fortunate in that I remember back in the 70s and 80s, they were doing traction for back pain. You couldn't get a joint replacement until you lost weight or until you were so miserable that you you acquiesced to have um, a joint replacement. Then you had to get approval from an authority. Today, you sneeze and you get a joint replacement. Um, the worst case I've seen is a guy who had 10 major operations: shoulder, 2 back surgeries, a hip replacement that had to be revised 4 or 5 times, and bilateral knee replacements. This guy was basically mutilated. Um, so, 3 treatments: mind, body, spirit, medication, surgery. The mind, body, spirit is a recipe of 5 daily chores, 20 expanded mind, body, spiritual actions that you do, and then 5 muscle therapies. So muscles contract and you have to pull them back out again every day. So stretching is a vital daily responsibility. If you don't stretch, your muscles will just lock up on you slowly, very slowly, and then they'll choke you to death. The tighter the muscle, the more force is required to unlock the muscle. And the longer the muscle stays locked, it'll lock in that muscle memory and it will choke you to death because that's what muscles do. They're obeying an innate program and they will not release until you release them. So in the beginning of an injury, if you're young, a few hours worth of stretching and flexing. But as the density of damage and programming, your muscles will lock and they'll choke you to death. They'll lock so tightly that they'll lock out natural healing. So the only place natural healing occurs is within your muscle systems. Doctors don't even think muscles. It's not even in their infrastructure. So they'll let you suffer to death and your treatment is right at their fingertips. So acupuncture has been around for thousands of years. is the most perfect medicine ever created by, ever conceived and created by humans. It's not FDA approved. Myofascial release, Janet Travell, David Simons, perfected all of the protocols for treating beaten, battered, wounded mind, body, spirit. They're there. You can read them. Physicians don't even know they exist because they're told not to look at it, not to pay it any attention. And if they do, they'll get reprimanded, they'll get intimidated. Some doctors would even lose their license if they promote what I'm speaking. How do I know? Because the Texas Board of Medicine lifted my license because I'm telling you this. It's utter bizarre. There's another part to this story too. So physicians paid to write for opium and cocaine derivatives, as many as you want. You don't have to worry about the flow. They'll opium and cocaine, it'll be around for thousands a year. What you won't get is the proper treatment that'll restore you back to full duty work and play. So even the idea of disability was invented by the AMA, the Rockefellers, and physicians, the insider physicians who basically betrayed humanity. No one would choose a joint replacement back surgery if they knew that the pain was in their muscles, easily treated. So they had to invent Social Security disability. If you look at football players, they'll always get, well, we got to get an MRI or CT. There's nothing, they're just beat up. Their muscles just need to be restored. You restore the muscles and they go back out and play. The best treatment for a beaten, battered body, mind, and spirit is exactly what athletes get after a game. They play hard and then they restore. Muscles require work, contraction, and then counter contraction. So you have to pull the muscles out from being contracted. If they stay like this, you will suffer to death, and it'll be an invisible, miserable death. Some people will kill themselves to escape it because they can't pull their muscles out themselves. You need a team. So there's no team of supports for anyone, anywhere in healthcare. So basically just beaten, battered, and thrown out. The worst cases, if they're alive, can be revived, can be rejuvenated. It just takes time, hours and hours of time and effort. So someone with back pain at age 20, a couple of massages. At age 50, it may take 100 massages. You can expedite that by doing acupuncture or needling. So 1 hour massage is restorative. One professional master level acupuncture treatment can restore that 50-year-old in maybe 10 or 20 visits and restore, heal, rejuvenate. But they don't give you that option. It's nowhere to be found. Acupuncture is not FDA approved, and if you use it, you'll lose your license. That's me. I can't believe in 2018 there's a Gestapo who will shut your practice down. The Texas Medical Board shut my practice down with a push of a button. Blink. They pushed the button. It says, I'm delusional, I'm crazy, I don't know what I'm doing. It's utterly bizarre. But on any account, the opioid crisis, I don't think we're going to get out of this because our whole society is built around the idea that physicians write prescriptions and do surgery, both of which will not ignite natural healing. On any account, I have more to tell you. Thank you.